everyone. Welcome to the
sounds good.
Texas show. And this is the show where we showcase life and highlight amazing survivors of traumatic events. Those are family violence, sex trafficking, sexual abuse, and our community leaders to share the community resources. Under this segment, we have military time, and we invite military and veterans who would like to share with us their experiences during and after their military experience. We run this segment in partnership with the National Veterans Chamber of Commerce. We would like to invite those who has overcome traumatic events and would like to share and are now ready to help others. We also have a special segment called Beauty for Ashes, and these are our beautiful warriors, and we invite them. They include our pageant sisters who can be winners as well as nominees, who are artists, musicians, actors, models, dancers, and most importantly, ambassadors for these causes to share with our audience their lives and most importantly, the impact that they have made to our community. Our show runs every 2 weeks, and if you would like to become a guest on our show, feel free to email us at MissUSATexas@gmail.com. It's MSUSATexas@gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook. It is at Miss USA Texas, which spells MSUSA Texas. So without further ado, we're gonna introduce our fellow warrior sister, our survivor and ambassador of domestic abuse, Miss Marlene Laxina. And Miss Laxina has so much achievement, and she has gone a long way. Sent me a long bio, and I'm gonna, list a few of the major achievements that she has done. She has acquired a diploma in junior accounting at Bryan and Stratton Business College and completed certified nursing assistant program from Harold Washington College and passed the Illinois and Georgia State Board exam. As an advocate for justice, she has received a certificate in law program for community developers, social workers from John Marshall Law School. Being a survivor of domestic violence, she has been trained as a legal advocate and has volunteered at the Safe Families Office at the Fulton City Courthouse. And she has also completed Celebrate Recovery, a 12-step study group, and now she's a facilitator for the women's group. And last but not least, she is an ambassador on behalf of Hope PYX Global for the East region. And her job is to promote awareness and prevention for domestic violence, sex trafficking, and sexual abuse. So Ms. Laxina, welcome to the show. And we know that you're wearing purple, I'm wearing purple, and the butterflies that we're all wearing. And today is the 2nd of October, and it is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I would like to bring the mic to you and let you tell us about your experience, how you overcome challenges, and what you're doing now today to impact others in our communities.
I would be happy to share. Thank you for having me, and hello everyone, welcome. And I'm honored to be here tonight, sharing with you my experience with domestic violence. I'm a survivor, and how I overcame, well, it was very difficult because I had been married for 27 years. I was fearful and afraid, did not know how I was going to get out, but I did get out. And some of that time I worked, and some of that time I took off of work due to pregnancies. So I do have some skills, talents, and abilities that I could rely on, but I didn't feel like it was enough to sustain me on my own after marriage. So with the help of going in and out of shelters, and there was a police officer who introduced me to Safe Families, the South Suburban chapter in the state of Illinois. I started going to group counseling. I hated groups, but if you're not in a group, you have no support and you think you're alone. I was totally alone, and I found out that I'm not alone. Domestic violence is more common than not. So I went back to school. I passed all of the entry exams, and I became a CNA, which means Certified Nursing Assistant, through Harold Washington College. And I was so proud of myself because I was an outstanding student. My nursing instructor, she became my friend. And starting to help others brought me out of my own depression. I was no longer focused on myself. Therefore, I started the healing journey as I began to help others recover from their illnesses. I was able to recover myself from depression. Also, I went back to church. My nursing instructor invited me to her church, and I thought to myself, oh, I don't know these people. You know, it's okay. I was a little hesitant, but I went to the church. I recommitted my life to Christ, and when I say I recommitted my life, I became a born-again Christian in 1974. But I have not always walked the walk, and I recommitted my life back to God. Meaning I recommitted my relationship with Him, talking with Him in prayer, reading my Bible, praise and worship, and also fellowshipping with other Christians. That was vital in my recovery. So yeah, that has been my journey.
Wow, that's quite a story. You know, I know we encountered each other at one of the events, a domestic violence event, and that was a visual. And I remember it just like I had goosebumps listening to survivors who were just a few months old to those who were over 80 years old. This is an issue that is regardless of gender, regardless of age, regardless of nationality, social and economic status. So I'm so proud of you to have gone that far. And you're right. I was going to say you think you're alone, but you were not alone, and you were never alone. You had all the sisters. You are such a warrior. You had all your warrior sisters, and you also had God who was there by your side all along. And of all the achievements that you have made, look at you. Today you are helping others. You are empowering others. And I saw your t-shirt, beautiful purple t-shirt that shows your t-shirt, I am enough. And you are enough. Laxina, you are enough.
You can see it.
Yes, it's beautiful. And the butterfly, the purple, and it's your journey. It resembles your journey about you. And after all, it is our own journey. We each have a different journey. And all of our survivors, I know that nobody has the same experience. But we know that you're gonna get out of it better and stronger. And just like our sister, Miss Laxina. And this is not just the end, this is the beginning. And I know that you're being humble, so I'm going to reveal a little bit. One of the many reasons that you're on the show, not only because you're a survivor, not only because you're an ambassador, but you forgot to mention something, that you are going back to acting school because you are right? What is
Yes,
your dream?
yes. I'm taking an acting workshop right now. I've been taking acting workshops since March, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm finding out that I like it. I like acting.
This is wonderful, and you're beautiful. You know,
Thank you.
and like I'm so proud of you. Words cannot express like we built our bond together over the time, and we have done so much together. But like I said, this is just the beginning. And tell us, Miss Laxina, like if it's a everyday citizen, and I know right now it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and everyone is talking about it. But what is your opinion? Like if someone who has not experienced that, someone who maybe they want to help, but how can they help?
Well, most people will be, they might be aware, or they may not be aware. And then if they are aware, they may be in denial that they're in that situation themselves, or they may know a friend, or maybe even their daughter, their granddaughter. There are a lot of signs and a lot of red flags. So I think that communities one-on-one have to educate people, because it can start in the early years of dating. And it also starts in people's homes, and that's a family secret. Domestic violence seems to be a family secret that no one is talking about. You think it's normal because you love your mother and your father, but your mother and father are only doing the best that they can, but it's destructive for children. Very, very destructive. I grew up in a domestic violence home. I love my father. My father could do no wrong. But he started the cycle of domestic violence with my mother. And therefore, my mother and I had a very strained relationship because of that. I have since forgiven my mother and my father, but I married someone who was just like my father in every way, even worse. So I too have forgiven him, but I have to set boundaries with him. I have to set a lot of boundaries. Thank you for listening. So just this month, about a week ago, Partnership Against the Partnership PADV, Partnership Against Domestic Violence, whom I met Eileen Dong at one of the vigils about a year or two ago. And it was an honor to meet her and to be in the presence of other survivors and honor those who didn't survive. Well, they just had a fundraiser. They have a fundraiser every October to help with the cost of housing women and children at a shelter, for food, for personal items, transportation, even schooling, helping them get a job, dressing for success, all of that, to help them on their way to a new beginning, to a more normal life. Childcare, and then Survivors Brunch. It is another organization who helps survivors of human trafficking, sexual abuse, to domestic violence, and all of that. On this coming Saturday, October 7th, from about 10 till noon, they have a Zoom meeting that it's virtual. We were meeting, and I'm part of that group also. We try to figure out where are the necessary, is it necessary to become active in the schools right now? Talking with the parents, talking with the students, with the principals. We're just trying to figure out and explore the the needs and where we can help people the most.
Thank you for sharing, Ms.
Sure.
Laxina, about the show. What we are gonna do is we will link the content below about the upcoming Survivors Brunch. So if you're interested, I believe it is free to the public, and
Yes, it
you're
is.
welcome to join. And you'll have the resources over under the link where you can access more information. And this is great that, like I said, what you're doing, you're so involved with different organizations, you're a leader, you're an ambassador, you're truly living your life to, to the most positivity and most potential that you can. Listen to you that, you are becoming an actor and you are doing the leadership in the community. And, I wanted to let everyone know that this is something that I want you to see our role model here. Because when you are going through things, you probably will not see the end of it. You will not see the light of it. And I believe the statistics show, and correct me if it were wrong, Ms. Laxina, that on average, I believe a woman takes about 7 times before they
That's
finally
true. That's exactly right.
Right. So I want to encourage you to see our role model here. And, if you can, from the early stages of dating, to recognize those red flags, I would say do it before you enter into that relationship. But if you are in this relationship, I want you to know that you are not alone. There are resources like what Ms. Laxina say, and there are, on the West Coast, we had an interview with one of our partners, the National Veterans Chamber of Commerce. They are very supportive of survivors and victims of all traumatic events that include those causes. And on the East Coast, we have Ms. Laxina, and of course, in the South, and you have me. And I believe that this is a community cause, and this is a cause without borders. And we should fight this together until we end it. And this is
Yes.
what I pledge my allegiance to. And I think, I have been working overtime with Miss Laxina, who is a true warrior. And these are the things that you could do. We're going to link the event once again below. And if you like this show, this is what you can do as well. Click the like button and share and subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you'll click on the bell so that you'll be alerted for the next show. And to share that, because just like what we said about the signs, people need to be educated. The community need to be aware of this so that we can prevent that from happening to ourselves, from happening to our kids, from happening
Sorry.
to our friends, family, so that nobody has to go through that again. And I believe that everyone deserves the freedom, and this is what we're here for. And thank you again. This is the Miss Texas Show, and thank you again, our special guest, Miss Laxina. And it is such a pleasure to see you again and see you shine. And we look forward to hearing from you more about more updates in the near future.
Pleasure seeing you and being on the show. Thank you, Miss Eileen.
Thank you.